Hi everyone, it's Savvy Sexy Social, vlog every day in August, day 28. Can you believe we've gotten here without missing a day so far? Anyways, on to tonight's topic. Have you ever wondered how we use language in order to set up our goals or our laws of attraction? That's one of the things that I'm going to be talking about tonight. This evening's a little bit about random thoughts that I've had in the last 24 hours about my last two videos. Hi everyone, I'm Alex, and this is Tea and Transformation. Okay, so what I want to talk about tonight is a little bit about language and the importance of naming things. One of the things that happens in a lot of the Plains Indian tribes, American Indians or Canadian First Nations, is the importance of naming things and that names have power. And, for a lot of indigenous cultures, there has been a whole thing about names have power. And we know that our language, as I mentioned last night, can be extremely powerful. So we have different languages. We have the language of finance, we have the language of career, we have the language of family, we have the language of love, we have the language of parenting. So all of these languages can be very, very specific. Some of them we know, and they're quite common. Some of them maybe not so much. So the language of macroeconomics may not be an easily understood language by a lot of people or your average kind of person walking down the street. So we have different languages and different levels of understanding. And so what I wanted to talk about was how we have to have a language in order to frame a question or an idea. So we may feel an idea, we may kind of know what the idea is, but unless we can put a language around it and name it, it remains kind of out there on the ether somewhere. And so when we name it, we frame that thought form into something much more concrete. That can happen because we find a way to describe something that has been undescribable, or it can happen because we hadn't heard of a term, we knew something, we knew a thing, but we didn't have any way of naming it or framing it, and then we hear a name, and then bang, it goes solid for us, and we're like, oh, yeah, that's what it is. So recently that happened for me. I had known as a psychic that when we declutter our emotions and our belief structures and get rid of or dispose of emotions that don't serve us, thought forms that don't serve us, beliefs that really we kind of picked up along the way and just adopted and never really thought about, that when we go through kind of like a mindfulness decluttering process, we end up releasing energy, because all of that stuff holds energy, and when we hold those thought forms, they're kind of in our grip and the energy is contained, and once we declutter, that energy is released. And so with that energy being released, what happens is we open up the pathways to attract people, situations, opportunities in a much faster way, because there's not as much stopped up energy. There's not as much of a barrier to get through to free-flowing energy and attracting the life we want. And so that, for me, was, I knew that concept. I'd worked with it, I used it, but I didn't have a name for it. And then one of my psychic colleagues named it and called it manifestation lag. So if you're a gamer, you know what lag is. We hate lag, because I game on the side, but don't tell anyone. But, so we know about lag. We hate lag. And so with the whole manifestation laws of attraction thing, if you're clearing energy, if you're decluttering energy around an area you want to focus on, you shorten that manifestation lag down quite a bit. So that if you've got alignment between your inner self and your outer self, you have integrity on those things, you're going to manifest much more quickly than if you don't, because you have to do that work and you've got to release that energy. So when I said last night that, attracting your soulmate, there's work involved, and part of it is decluttering your ideas around relationship and romantic love and long-term relationships and marriage. And they're kind of all wrapped up in this, I want my perfect one true love. So we need to frame and name things, and we need to be able to identify them, because we also know that when we observe and track things, we're able to see change and observe much more closely, and even change if we want to. So we need to be able to name the ways in which our love shows up, whether that's romantic, marriage, whatever it is. We need to go in through a process of examination and naming. So I just sort of wanted to get that out of the way, and that's why there's work involved in attracting your soulmate. And I think I'm going to change the name of the mini course from Manifest Your Soulmate to Attract Your Soulmate. Because you know what? I'm just sick and tired of the word manifest, manifestation babes, manifestation projects, 5 days to manifesting the life you want. It's like it drives me crazy. So I just don't want to be part of that. So I'm going to call my mini course Attracting Your Soulmate. Now, if you have ideas on why I shouldn't change it, please comment below. Okay, now I want to talk about leadership. I mentioned earlier, like in another video, God, there's so many of them right now, that people that I looked up to, and one of them was Jimmy Carter, but the other one is a guy named Werner Erhard. For those of you who are my age or a little bit older, a little bit younger, he was the founder of EST, which morphed into the Forum, which morphed into Landmark Education. There are hours of Werner Erhard videos on YouTube. I try and listen to at least one a week just to keep myself honest with myself, keep my level of authenticity up. But anyways, one of the things that he's doing now is leadership conferences, and there is one in Mexico in October that I would really love to go to. But what they're talking about there is natural leadership as a natural self-expression of who we are. So it's not like we take on the mantle of leadership. It's not like we step into leadership. It's not like leadership is bestowed on us. Leadership is a natural self-expression, a natural consequence of who we are. And I really want to go and do that work and delve into it, because I like the way Werner's mind works and what it is that he calls us to be in terms of our authentic selves. And, continually and always recognizing our inauthenticities, because, of course, being on the consciousness trail for as many years as I am, it's not like we're perfect. It's not like you've arrived somewhere. It's an ongoing, always process. And, if anyone's run into any enlightened beings lately, I'd like to meet them, because I sure know I'm not one. But so that would be an interesting thing to do, is to ponder leadership as a natural self-expression. And please subscribe, like the video, share if you can. And if you have any comments about what I've said here tonight, make them down below. And I am going to do some more videos after August 31st based on some of the questions that people have left in the comments section on the videos. But I truly appreciate all of you who have come and listened. It's a long video. I apologize. I guess I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm Alex, and this is Tea and Transformation.